In the field of entrepreneurship and microbusinesses, Bam Aquino has long been a familiar name. Now that he is elected to the Senate, he says he will focus on improving Filipinos' livelihood. We now have in the studio Senator-elect Bam Aquino. Good morning,
Good morning.
Senator Aquino.
Good morning, Jing. Good morning, Ameline.
Last time you were here, you were candidate Aquino.
Senatorial pa lang.
Senatorial. Ngayon, senador ka na.
Well, actually, I think it's Senator-elect, no? We'll be
Senator-elect, yeah.
Technically senators
Right.
when the 15th Congress ends, no?
Right. Well, we know you're in microbusiness, so what's that going to be like in your 6 years as senator?
Well, our campaign promise was focused on trabaho, negosyo, edukasyon, no? Three pillars which we think can really help improve our economy.
Yeah.
And the good thing is the thrust of this administration for the next 3 years is inclusive growth and really developing the economies of our countrymen who maybe are left behind a little bit and
How
need
do you
to
do
catch
that?
up, no?
How do you include people in growth?
Well, jobs, first of all. No? We have to have more jobs. I think one of the comments of a lot of economists is that our economy is improving, there's growth, but it's the number of jobs that are created are not enough, no, to actually match the economic growth that we have. So I think first and foremost, you have to create jobs. No? Secondly is you have to support our countrymen who can put up small businesses or micro businesses. That includes access to capital, access to training, getting closer to the market, no, for their products and services to get closer to the market as well. So, trabaho, negosyo, at the end of the day, these things are still the main pillars in helping our economy improve. No?
Isn't there enough access to capital now? Like, for example, if I want to put up a what? What's a microbusiness? Sari-sari store? All right.
Yes.
Galing, ha? Sari-sari store. Who could I go to?
Well,
and how much can I get?
You'll go to two places. No? One is you'll go to a 5-6 where matatali yung capital mo and most likely you won't be able to make it back. No?
Yeah.
But that's the easiest. No? Marami sa mga kababayan natin, dyan sila pupunta talaga.
Right.
But we're dissuading them from that. No? We want them to go to more formal institutions like microfinance institutions, joint cooperatives,
are there enough
some
of
government
those?
Programs. There are enough, but their reach is not enough. So
exactly.
the industry says, the microfinance industry says that they can go up to about 12 million Filipinos that they can serve, but right now they're only at about 4.5 million. So there's still a large gap. No? Marami pa ring unbanked in the Philippines. A lot of Filipinos who don't have access to capital or access to these financial services, which through legislation or through support of the government, we could probably expand their reach and have more Filipinos engage in entrepreneurship and business. No?
Should be local government, right?
Actually, I'm in favor of not of having government support the private institutions that support microfinance.
All right.
Usually kasi government and the church, people don't want to pay them back. So when the government and the church lends money, the repayment rates are usually quite low.
All right.
But if it's a private institution or an NGO, the repayment rates go up to about 98-99%. No? So the best situation, I think, is for government to support the NGOs and the microfinance groups and the cooperatives who are already doing this well, support them so they can grow expand their reach and reach more Filipinos.
When you say support, what do you mean?
You can even guarantee their the capital that they're able to get. Provide incentives for them to go to areas which are hard to reach. No, different programs to help them expand their reach outside of their current base. And in that way, we'll be able to see more Filipinos engage in business, hopefully have a way to have extra income for their families. No? Again, we're looking at jobs and creating businesses to fight poverty. And hopefully, as a senator, I can do my share in terms of legislation or pushing for programs which can really improve.
So in the form of a bill, how would that sound?
You're going to incentivize microfinance groups to go to areas which are hard to reach, or you can give them incentives also in terms of tax breaks. You incentivize private corporations also to help microfinance organizations or direct government to make sure that there's enough support for the whole industry. No? There are some provisions currently that could be amended also. No? For example, a lot of microfinance groups, they want to be able to lend to at a higher amount. No? But right now, they're restricted. So if they're able to lend to a higher amount, non-collateralized, but they're able to lend much higher than what they usually lend, which is about 5 to 10,000 pesos, then you're looking at larger than micro businesses, but smaller than small businesses. So somewhere in the middle, no, that they can still help and support and help them grow further. So there are those provisions that need to be amended, that need to be corrected. But I think what's important here is that the ability to have capital is a very key component in getting out of poverty. If you don't have a job, you should have capital to put up a business. So that's one important part in our inclusive growth strategies. No? And hopefully, we'll be able to work on that. No?
Senator-elect Bam Aquino, you're sitting here now as a senator. You were here as a senatorial not too long ago. Why do you think you won?
Couple of things. No? Siguro it's not just one particular reason, no, but different things. One, I think, is that our volunteers really were very active.
Organization.
Organization, not just politically, but also in the non-conventional sense. No?
All right.
A lot of the groups that supported Pinoy in 2010 came out and supported me very, very strongly as well.
Okay.
So, maganda nga na usually kasi after the elections, pagtapos na, people disband and they go their separate ways. No? But for the 2013, for the last elections, a lot of the people in 2010 were still there. And a lot of the people who supported were still there. And they said, when we helped Pinoy, we wanted a good leader to get there, but we knew that the fight's not over, hindi pa tapos yung laban, and we need to continue these reforms. That's why we're supporting you. So a lot of the volunteers were there. A lot of the youth groups actually came out and supported me, being the youngest candidate and having had the experience in the sector. So malaking bagay yung volunteers talaga. Secondly, I think was the endorsement of the president. No, it was very big for the whole team, not just for myself. No. You could see that with his popularity and the respect that he's gotten from the people, when he supported Team Pinoy and he said, ito yung grupo na tutulong sa akin, or ito yung grupo na magpapatuloy ng mga reformang nasimulan ko na, I think that really helped our whole slate. And that's why I think we have a 9-3 outcome. No? And third, I think, is our message of pushing for jobs, trabaho, negosyo, edukasyon. I think these are things that people are looking at already. The Philippines, in the past 3 years, we've gotten from a very low base to quite a significant change, in almost 3 years, And a lot of people are saying, okay, we have the economic growth, we have a lot of great indicators, pero marami pa ring mahihirap, marami pa ring kailangan gawin. But you're looking at it from the point of view of optimism na, we have somewhere to go. There are things that are happening. Our economy is the best in Southeast Asia, second best only to China in the whole Asian region. And we want to move forward, but at the same time, we want to make sure that everybody moves along with us.
Right.
So I think that optimism, it worked well with our message and our advocacies of pushing for jobs, pushing for businesses, and improving our educational system. And I think our message was able to really hit a lot of people, and I guess that's one of the reasons why they voted for me.
You have a job cut out for you as senator, but you have a legacy to take care of as well. You have an uncle who was killed and started a revolution, and whose wife became the president of this country, and whose son
is now the president
of this country, turning the economy around. And now you're Senator-elect Bam Aquino.
Well, Jing, I just want to do my share, to be very frank. The next 6 years, I think, was very crucial time for the Philippines. I predict, and again, I hope we'll take this interview naman, hopefully 6 years when I leave the Senate already or go for a re-election or whatever, we'll look back at this day and say, wow, those 6 years were really a good 6 years for the Philippines, where we were able to push. To a certain extent, we've turned around already our economy. It's now the task now is really to push it forward, and to make sure that our countrymen are able to move upwards, with the economy.
Inclusive.
So hopefully, in 6 years, we'll look back and say those 6 years were really important for the Philippines. It was a major crossroads, and we were able to cross to cross all of these different problems, and we were able to get past it. And in those 6 years, hopefully, people will say, well, Bam did his share. Nagawa niya yung kailangan niyang gawin. He was able to fulfill all of the promises he gave in the elections. And hopefully, again, I don't imagine that. I think everybody who runs has the idea that they have something to offer. So yes, I have something to offer. But at the same time, I just want to do my share and get to a place where our country can say we're in a much better place 6 years from now than where we were in 2013.
All right. In 2019, at 7:45 in the morning,
I'll be back.
We'll be back there. We'll sit you down here. We'll replay the tape, and we'll see what we can talk about.
Hopefully, Jing, you'll say you did your share, and thank you for that.
Hopefully, hopefully. Thanks. Congratulations on your winning a senatorial seat, and we wish you all the luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bam Aquino with us, Senator-elect Bam Aquino with us in the studio this morning.